Are you cultivating your emotional resilience? Grand Rising, my friends. Congratulations, you made it another day. My name's Mark Brown. I help men over 50 bounce back after loss, addiction, and setbacks using faith and simple tips, tricks, and tools that work. So when I saw this one, this is a big one because it's you versus you always. Your emotional resilience is really, really what's going to happen when you get that blow to the news that you didn't want to have. Are you going to stand strong? We all need this. Like your emotional resilience is, especially when life gets really, really heavy. Your resilience building up on things, you have to kind of take a step back and how are you going to be? Are you going to, it's not pretending that things didn't happen, that things aren't going wrong. It's about learning how to stand strong going through whatever's being presented in your path. When you get that too that you don't want to have, when you find out someone that you love is passing away or passed away, the initial shock of it, you're like, oh my gosh, like what? Like how are you going to get through it? And those deep times like that, you're going to be in shock, so you're not even going to know what's going on. So it's about learning to stand strong in what's going on. And it's about your belief in yourself that you know that you're gonna get through, and it really comes down to your own self awareness of what's going on. And I'm learning more and more about this each and every day. And the more you peel back the onions, there's always going to be something that comes up inside of you when you really take a deep seated look at your when you take an inventory about yourself. Things are going to pop up. You're gonna work through that as you go forward. So you asking yourself, what are you really feeling right now? Is it anger, shame, grief, sorrow, joy? What is it? What is it? Where is it coming from? Um, when you recognize it, you get to kind of say, okay, you can recognize it, and it gives you clarity around, okay, how do you want to be around this in this situation? It's not easy, but once you acknowledge it and you say, okay, do I want to how do you want to respond to it? And unless you really kind of look in the mirror, until you bring it to the light, until you bring it out in the open, like sharing something that you know, like where am I triggered? Usually a sign of triggering or anger is something that you want to look inside yourself, that something happened and you might not even know what it is yet, but when you unfold over time, um, it's going to open things up, and you're like, oh my gosh. And that when you open up and you shed it to light, that's where God comes into play and say, okay, wow. Once you bring it to the light and you're okay with it, there's no more shame, blame, guilt, or judgment towards yourself. Everything's going to work out, right? So you don't want to. How do you cope with it? The healthy using healthy coping mechanisms to how do you get out of that situation. Like I know I personally, I take a step back now and I take a deep breath 3 times. I'm like, okay. Sometimes, like one of my biggest weaknesses, as I overreact in the minute, and I say or do something that doesn't forward the conversation, or something that I'm not happy with about myself. Do you reach out for distractions? What are the tools? What tools do you use to help you grow or out of the situation that you're in? A healthy coping mechanism might be, like for me, I'll take a walk. Actually, I'll take a motorcycle ride. Could be journaling, could be praying, calling a trusted friend. um, a big one for me is taking a step back, is appreciating what I have right here, right now, in the moment. We all have things we can be grateful for. An attitude of gratitude. And Ray Higdon actually did a thing this morning on the different levels of gratitude that he put into place, like being grateful for, what you have. But are you grateful for the trials and tribulations? That's profound gratitude. Like if you're grateful for that negative thing that happened, see, everything that happens to you is something that God's giving you. That what's what I believe, that God's giving you something that He knows you're going to overcome. He already knows the outcome, but He's growing you and stretching you into the person you want to become. So instead of being angry with that person that you normally would be angry at, give them grace. That's a profound gratitude, and be thankful for that. The thing is, we're not perfect. Nobody is. I've acted out. You've acted out. We've all done things that we're not perfect for. But if you're going to allow grace, and it's about being intentional when you see something like that, and choose the things that will build you up. That's going to make you have. That's going to allow you to have peace, right? And a great way to do that is, I'm a part of a lot of different groups and networks. I've said this before. You're not alone in all of this. Everything that I touch on, you're not alone. Everybody's experienced all this. We all need people together And when you're in a group setting or whatever it is, you can see other people that are going through things that overcome it, and you know that you can do it too. I'm very proud of where I've been, where I'm going, and where I am right now. When you see other people that are going through, it gives you more clarity, saying, "Wow, I can do this," and people will lift you up. Our support groups, you're in it not by yourself. You know, you might doing it for yourself, but you're not by yourself, right? And when you see others, whether it's in your faith groups, your meditation groups, your prayer groups, your home business groups, when you're around a community of people and they're going through the same things, because you don't know what, it's all about learning and growing, right? One thing you can't do, and one thing that I did do, is that you can't numb it away. Like I used to numb myself. Like I would like try to numb it away with drugs, alcohol. Could be eating. Could be anything. We're all addicted to something. Could be throwing yourself into work. You can't numb the situation away. And what I have found that is even when I stopped drinking, I know for a fact that God worked through my daughter that day. As I look back on it, see, God works through people, and it lands on you in a way that, like, oh, you didn't get that message from somewhere else. You may have heard something 1,000 times, but you don't get it until someone else says it a different way. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And when you surround yourself with people, that's all the messages that we need to hear. So your emotional resilience is very important. Just know that this too shall pass. How do I know? Because I've been at the deepest and the darkest of the moments in my own psychology, and what's pulled me through is my faith and believing in people and asking for help and surrounding myself and putting myself in positions in other groups to help me see, like the griefshare.org. Griefshare was a great program. I went through a program called Divorce Care. I've been divorced for 14 years, and I went through that group. I learned some things. It's like picking up a book again. You think you know everything, but you really don't. And if you're not being open to certain ideas, then nothing will ever happen, and you're never going to grow. So that's the thing, is like, always think that there's always something to learn, I guess what I'm saying too, and you find that in groups, no matter what you're up to. So my final thought here is, like, your emotional resilience isn't about being unshakable. It's about knowing when life shakes you that you have the faith that you're going to pull through it, right? Turning your pain into your power, your pain into your purpose, your mess into unmessiness, right? Make it into something. Who are you becoming? Don't be bitter. Become better. Become better and better. Don't wish it was easier. Wish you become better. That's Jim Rohn, right? That's all this stuff comes into play. The more you develop this emotional resilience, the better and easier it will help. You will have better things to face life challenges. I've been through tons of grief, best friends, family members, people overnight just taken away from me like that. Am I proud to say that I have that resilience? No, because I didn't want that stuff to happen, but I have. I know the outcome. Like I could have went a different direction when all these things happen. The thing is, you don't want to drill yourself down into unhealthy behaviors is what it comes down to. So just continue to move forward. The more you build this resilience, the better. And you'll have more empathy, more wherewithal, and more strength to overcome the things that you know that will happen in the future. So I hope this helps. If you got any value out of this, please share this with someone, tag someone that may get some value out of this. Remember that you are worthy, you are loved. I believe in you. Someone is definitely counting on you, and you count on yourself because you're powerful beyond measure. Okay? So have an amazing day today, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.